Great movie.
And that was The Pit. Which, as you can see from that, I think that almost says everything we need to know. But I'll ask anyway. What'd you think?
I liked it.
Despite the fact that you needed a drink at the end.
Here's the thing. His acting through the first quarter of the movie was horrid. Horrid. We're talking kindergarten play horrible. I don't know if it changed directors or if they figured it out by the dailies of where it was going, but it changed. Right around the time he started pushing people into a pit.
Gotcha.
It wasn't. I was expecting. Good whiskey. I was expecting bad. That wasn't good. But it wasn't. I enjoyed parts of it. Like the beginning and the end were great. If we could get rid of that crap in the middle.
Just get rid of the whole middle and just throw that out.
As a director, I would love to have the raw footage of this movie. Because there is a movie in there. A very good movie. But the music and the acting in the beginning is so wooden. Right when, and maybe, I don't know, it was intentional. I can tell you where the movie turned for good, in my opinion, is when she smacked it.
Gotcha.
From that point on.
Well, that's also toward the end. I mean, that's pretty far in the film. I mean, you're pretty much in the last like half hour at that point.
The chasing of the monster trope could have just man, cut that whole thing out and go to this.
Yeah.
The ending got me.
There you go.
I figured they were going to be creepy little lovers forever.
Oh.
I did not see
that ending. Yeah, I kind of figured.
Would I suggest somebody watch this?
That's a good question.
Sober. No. No, I would not. Because of the music and the way it was cut and edited.
Sure.
But I don't hate this.
There you go.
What? I'm going to take back something because this question has to be asked. Why was the bear necessary?
So, I kind of know a little bit about this. Basically, the movie was supposed to be completely different. There was a completely different script originally. If I remember correctly, because I read this a bit ago, it was supposed to be all in the kid's head. The teddy bear wasn't actually talking. I don't believe there was actually creatures. He thought he saw creatures. He honestly believed there were creatures. He honestly believed the teddy bear was talking. It was all in his head. And that's really what the original script was about. And then they got someone else come in and did rewrites, and they changed it so now the creatures are real, now the teddy bear is really talking, and it probably changed the whole tone of the film. The guy who I think was originally part of it left because of it, which I don't blame him. I mean, if you come up with this story about, this kid who's got all this stuff in his head and now they want to make it all real, I mean, it's a completely different story now. It's not so I don't blame them. So that was the whole point of that, I think. Oddly enough, so there was actually a short story called The Professor's Teddy Bear, which is actually a horror story. And I'm not sure who it was that wrote it, because I can't remember. But I've got it. We can add that later. We can go and put that into the description. But that one was much more horrific than this is. Which makes me think that there was like more than one version of this. There was the short story version was one thing, the short horror story. Then we had the other story where it was all in his head, and this movie was somewhere in the middle. It just ended up being this weird mash of the different ideas. Like everyone had their own idea of what they wanted to do, and we just got kind of it all put in one bowl and mixed together and they put it on film and bam, that's what we got. I personally don't hate this film. I think it's fine, but at the same time, it's really hard to recommend this movie. It does not know what it wants to be. It has no clue. It constantly is changing tone. Jamie, I think the kid did a phenomenal acting job considering the role and considering the fact that he is the main character. He's got to be in every single freaking scene. I thought he did a pretty good job, despite the fact he's not a very likable character. I mean, one minute they'll have a scene where you're supposed to feel sorry for him. The next minute they have a scene where he does something uber creepy. Why would you care about this kid? It's hard to want to be invested in a kid that's all over the place. So, I didn't care for that. And as I was making fun of it, as you mentioned, oh my God, the music. The music does not fit the tone of the film.
Ever.
In almost any scene. There's only a couple of scenes, a handful of scenes, where it matches. Otherwise, it's either way over the top, it's either too whimsical, too family friendly. The main theme song, what appears to be the main theme song, sounds like something that's supposed to be part of like a romantic comedy or something like that, or something from a 60s television show. I don't know if if there was a misunderstanding with the music, or if it was literally this is what the director had asked for. I have no idea, or maybe this is simply what the guy that they hired for the music felt matched this rather odd little film, because let's face it, the movie's strange. And that's why I said I'm not sure if I would actually recommend this film. If you ever wanted to, give it a shot, I'd say, maybe have a couple drinks, or at least have some friends over to make fun of it, because honestly, it's tough to get through. Otherwise, when I first watched it for the very first time, I had no idea what I was watching, because even though I knew the story was about a kid with a pit, and there was creatures in it, and he had a talking teddy bear, I still did not get what I expected. I mean, it's tough. It's tough to imagine this with any description. I mean, you would have to literally be told, hey, so we got this perverted little kid who has got a talking teddy bear, but that doesn't matter, because he has a pit that has some trogologs in it, that doesn't matter, because he actually likes this babysitter and is bullied by a whole bunch of people. But none of that really matters.
Maybe because you set up this movie to be so horrible, might be why I can't say I like this movie, but I didn't hate it.
Yeah.
And I loved the ending. Do you know how hard it is to fool me?
Yeah.
And this
I do know.
horrible little piece of shit movie got me. I did not see that coming.
Nope.
I was expecting another 45 minutes of them being the perverted lovers that they were going to be and pushing people down the pit.
Yeah, I didn't expect that either. So yeah, it did catch me by surprise as well, and that's saying something, because I'm usually not caught by surprise either. So.
Right.
So in the end, what does that say? That says, well, it's a very interesting film. It's a very weird film, but not necessarily one that we would recommend watching unless you know what you're getting yourself into.
And you were warned.
There you go. So that's it for The Pit.